You just saw a piece of a documentary started by Step Global. We have Jacob Sikes here with us and Darren Wiens as well. They are, what are your official titles with Step Global?
Organizers, and we started
the whole project, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So these guys go to developing nations, and they help provide individuals with artificial limbs. Really a fascinating story. When you told me to look at this video, you know, I didn't expect to know what I would see, and really it does move you. How did you guys even get started in this adventure?
Well, this is our profession. Also, we have a company in town. Actually, we have companies in Omaha and Kearney and Norfolk, and this is what we do for a living, and it's been a field that's been very good to us as business owners. And there was, in the United States, you can't reuse, these are called components, you can't reuse any of this stuff. So if a person dies or they get a new leg or anything, you're just left with all these extra parts. And this is a knee, by the way. And so in these other countries, you know, if you lose your limb, there's no prosthetic component. They have nothing. Right? So like if you're in Nicaragua and you could lose your leg, you get a cane or a pair of crutches and you're on your way. Or maybe if you're lucky enough, you get a wheelchair donated to you. And so
we started doing this just to kind of as a way to give back. You know, I know he had said before that there's a lot of times there are companies he was with. Now he's gotten to a point where we're able to do this to give back a little bit, and it was something we wanted to do. And going through school, I did my residency at the Shriners Hospital, and that was always fun. We could see a lot of kids from different areas, and it was something we both wanted to get back into, so it just kind of worked out nicely for us.
It just kind of fell into place that you got started.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what you guys have done. What developing countries have you been to?
We just started. We're a new charity, and we've been to Nicaragua twice. We have planned trips to Mexico and Nicaragua again in February of this year. And then we're going to be going to, we have plans to go to Peru, Jamaica, and then start doing some Eastern European countries, which I don't know how that's going to go. I'm a little nervous about that, but that'll be all right. It'll be fine.
It's a unique opportunity here.
Yeah.
So what you do, how do you have to go to the country to find out who is in need, correct?
Yeah. And basically, we have to go twice each time. This is a socket, and this is what actually goes onto the person's limb. Darren can probably describe this a little better. But basically, this goes on. This is what they wear. So this has to be casted and then custom made to the person. So we have to go there and take a cast and evaluate them, come back and make this part. And then we rely on donations of these. It's kind of like putting a puzzle together. You know, you have your socket, you put a knee on that, then you put a pylon on that, and then a foot
to the foot on the
bottom basically like that. And that's how you build it. But this part has to be custom made.
Sure, so that's when you have to go over
That's when we go, and then we go back and fit that. And in the meantime, when we're back here making that, we have to try to find donations of used parts like this.
So a lot of times in the U.S. you can't reuse the parts and the componentry, but over there, you know, we don't want to give them stuff that's broken or they can't use, but a lot of times this stuff is extremely durable and reliable, so we know that they can use it and get a lot of need out of it, so yeah.
So you've been twice, you said?
Twice to Nicaragua, yeah.
When you go there, obviously, if you guys have seen this, can you see the video on your website?
Yeah, on our website you can watch the entire video.
You guys should check that out. It's stepglobal.org, correct? Because it's really fascinating, quite moving. When you find these people, how do you know how many you're going to be able to help? Because it's got to be a limited number that you can help, right?
Yeah, and it was when we first went there, we didn't know. There's an organization called Orphan Grain Train out of Norfolk, and they set us up with a contact there. And basically, we just showed up at 8 a.m. that morning. They'd been broadcasting on the radio show, and there was a hallway full of people. And the weird thing is here, you know, we schedule, you have an 8 o'clock and 8:30 and 9. There, they all showed up at 8 o'clock. You know, there's 25 people sitting there in the hallway. And we did an initial quick eval where we said, you know, there's nothing we can do for you. There's nothing we can, which is sad, but at the same time, you have to focus on the people you can help. And but out of those people, we did 24 prosthetics.
24, yeah.
Wow. How do you know what people you will help?
Well, it's basically depends on the level of amputation. Somebody that's a really high above knee amputation or through their hip, it's going to be extremely difficult to do the follow-up and the constant maintenance that you're going to need for the joints or the componentry. Somebody who's a below knee amputation or below knee or below elbow or above elbow is going to take a little less, I guess, work or maintenance to kind of keep them going. So once you get them set up, then they're going to kind of go on their own a little bit. But we try to teach them as much, you know, if your socket isn't fitting, maybe you got to add some more socks or kind of different stuff with that, like that. But If it's too complicated and we're not going to be able there to help them out, then they're not going to be able to get the function out of it. So it's kind of a lose for them. So yeah.
So right after the break, much more details about some stories here with Step Global, and plus find out how you can help as well. Stay with us.